1250 WTMA.
Now, here's more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.
Welcome back, Charleston, to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. Remember, if you want to reach out to me to talk more about real estate personally and privately, you're thinking of buying or selling a home, you want to talk about investing in real estate in a bunch of different ways, which I've done in the past and still do, would love the opportunity to have that conversation off air. I can be reached at 843-345-1273. Call or text that number. That's my cell phone number, 843-345-1273. Or go to my website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. And I'm excited to announce that we are working on a website specifically for the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. I'll be able to point you guys there soon. But for now, all of our previous shows are on our website. They're on iTunes, Spotify, all kinds of different mediums in which you can listen to this program. Just do a search for the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. So I want to talk now about what I left the previous segment, which is that the biggest opportunity in the housing market right now rests in the hands of millennials. And if you think about it, millennials are the largest living generation, even surpassing baby boomers at this point. And as you know, we've been talking a lot about millennials and kind of the first-time home buyer market on this show for years. And I wanted to share just some interesting stats with you. First, I'm also going to debunk some myths that people have about millennials. They're lazy, entitled, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to earning power, the average millennial's annual salary is about $36,000. There are more households in quote-unquote poverty than any other generation, which makes sense because they're a generation that's in the workforce for the most part, and they're the youngest. So I'm not too entirely shocked by that stat. Millennials' starting salaries are approximately 20% less than baby boomers made at that age, adjusted for time. And as far as net worth goes, the average millennial has a net worth of $10,400. And so one of the big things that we've talked about on this program is that millennials want to buy a house, but they are crippled with student debt. I mean, that's really been kind of the major factor that has contributed to them not being able to buy a house. They have 300% more student loan debt than their parents. They're half as likely to own a home than a young adult was in 1975, and will likely not be able to retire until age 75, which is, the student debt and the rise of it has played a key role in declining home ownership in that particular demographic. But what's happened over the past several years, as the housing market has continued to recover, prices have gone up. Affordable homes for first-time home buyers have dwindled. However, millennials are getting older. Their incomes are growing. Yes, they have student loan debt, but they're now a more educated part of the workforce, and they're making more money. And here's the deal. They're getting married. They're having kids. They're advancing in their careers. They're earning more money. They're taking their finances very seriously. And they research the you-know-what out of everything. And while this might contribute to your opinion that they have this sense of entitlement, I really don't buy into that bad rap, because millennials are, for the most part, motivated. They just don't want to be, quote unquote, tied down to a mortgage. That there's this whole idea that, millennials don't care about anything. They're this transient person, this urban lifestyle. They're lazy. Look, that all changes when you get married and you have kids and you're in an apartment and your baby gets woken up because your neighbor down the hall is stumbling into their apartment at 2:30 in the morning after last call at the bar. But one of the things I want to debunk here is the fact that millennials aren't, quote unquote, lazy. They value experiences. And for a lot of millennials that are not yet married, because the age at which folks get married is just continuing to push further and further into the future, they value experiences. They have a different spin on life. They value the quality of life. At an earlier age, than baby boomers did. They didn't get that until later in life because for them, it was all about pick a career, go to work, grind it out, get your pension, move on, retire, have a plan. Millennials still have a plan, but their plan right now is to enjoy life. And I'm not buying into the fact that millennials aren't budget conscious. In fact, they're very budget conscious. They research a bunch of stuff about finances. There's a ton of surveys and information that I pulled up to reference that, just so I'm not talking out of one side of my mouth here. But the interesting thing is that so many people that are considering selling their house, count millennials out. Don't think that because you own a $600,000 house that you're solely marketing to folks in an older, more stable demographic. I know plenty of people that are millennials that have been in the top 1% of income earners in the country. I've been one for years. I'm 34. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm just saying that there's a large collection of people that fall under this millennial demographic that has gotten this bad rap that are doing very well for themselves. But you have to understand how to cater to them. They value experiences. If you have figured out a way to cater to people by selling them the experience, the value of your property, of the lifestyle associated with living in your home, rather than, this floor, we've got walnut floors and granite countertops and new cabinetry and a new HVAC. Yes, those things matter, but I see so many listings out there that neglect to speak to the person that values the experience associated with living in that house, in that area, that community. It's one thing that we're doing really, really well right now in our team is we're selling the story of why somebody should pick that house. Look at the listings online. Look at all those listings out there that are just feature, 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 feature. Okay, great. I'm happy that all of that stuff got out there. We just do things a little bit different way. Works for us. I'm not saying that it can't work the other way as well, but I think for the majority of people listening, you would agree that somebody that really understands marketing knows how to tap into the perception of the experience that buying that product will give you and shaping that perception of what that experience will be. That's sales at a really high level. That's marketing at a really high level. So I think that millennials have a big opportunity in this market. We're going to talk more about that. I'm going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to finalize this discussion, talk about what you could be doing right now as a buyer or as a seller to really wrap your head around this market and make intelligent decisions. So stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA. And remember, if you want to reach out to me to talk more about your situation, whether it's something that you're planning to do next month, a year from now, let's prepare. Let's come up with a game plan. Let's make sure that we're doing everything we can to make this the best process possible for you. So my number is 843-345-1273. That's my cell, 843-345-1273. Call or text that number. Or go to listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. And stick around. We'll be right back for the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.
Visit Brian Beatty's website at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.